How's everybody doing? Welcome to Solution Seekers. As always, I'm Kelly. How is everybody doing? Me, myself, just marvelous. I went back to work. I've been furloughed from Caltech, and so I also work Uber because I only work at Caltech part time. So last Thursday night, I just decided what the hell and just go back to it. And you know what? It was the best decision possible because I just had a great time, and it's reconnecting with the people, not just making money, but just after being down since March, um, there's a connection that happens when you meet people and you have a conversation. Because most of you, if you watch any of my videos, what I talk about is pretty much what I am in all aspects of my life. I just try to live it to the best of my ability. And you know what? Since Thursday night, I'm only working from like Thursday until Sunday, and I was putting 12-hour shifts in, and man, it didn't even seem like it because the time just flew by, and it gives me a consensus of what, with everything that we're facing, whether it's COVID, whether it's economic downturn, the loss of jobs, the protests, social justice, and the host of things. But how is everybody emotionally responding to it? And most people are really, they're uncertain, which is obvious. I mean, I am as well, to a greater or lesser degree, depending on what happens. But I think everybody is just patient. I'm being patient with everything. And some people, I remember a couple of women told me, I'm just sleeping, or I'm enjoying unemployment. Or some people are just like, I'm grateful that I have my job. I'm grateful that my family is healthy, you know. And, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Um, the the reason for me to come on tonight is to talk about racist pancakes because some of my writers had mentioned this just in passing, and I told them, I said, "You know me, you know what I'm gonna do." So it was like this, with all the symbolic things that are being snatched down, rather as flags, rather as statues, and then there's a thing like with the Southern Confederacy tradition of having the Confederate flag and what it means. I mean, Bubba Wallace was racing today in Talladega NASCAR, and he found a noose on top of his car. Man, what kind of crap is that? But that just shows you the true symbolic nature of what the Confederacy was all about. Because if you know anything about Andrew Stevens, who was vice president of the Confederacy, which his statues are now being taken down, he had something that's called the Cornerstone speech, and when he talked about how certain people were supposed to be subjugated to the white race and how they can never be equal because that's what the equality they were fighting for in the North, and that's one of the promotions that was one of the instigators of the Civil War. And then you have statues of him all over the place. You have Robert E. Lee, which was his cohort, and within the Confederacy. Then we have Rufus. No, his name was Rastus from Malto Mill. And then we have Miss Butterworth, and then Aunt Jemima. I mean, but at the end of the day, man, those were some delicious pancakes, and I've eaten them most of my life. But it comes to the point in time that if you remove if you remove those symbols, does it resolve the problem, or is it just something that you can't see? Because I like to think that just because you remove something, the problem is still there because there hasn't been no solutions about the problem, that the existing problem. And I think that the guys we were talking about how there has to be some type of open framework or some kind of open dialogue between race in this country, and it's been a long time coming. I mean, some people kind of like skirt around the idea of it, and I don't mean the politicians. I just mean the people, because the politicians are just one element. Who really cares about politicians? Because they actually don't care about it. Let's look at the stimulus packages. A lot of people are struggling in their own lives financially, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But what are they doing? What do they always do? What they want to do, because they can't identify with us. Because most of them are making like $180,000 a year, and they only work 140 days a year, and their lives aren't anything like ours. The problem that we have, they don't have. I mean, obviously they have problems, but they don't have the ones that we personally have. So, getting back to what I was talking about is is that in this discourse of with everything that's going on between the COVID, economic downturn, social justice, defunding the police, and the host of other issues that I'm not even going to get into, but I just want to focus on this for a second. When are we collectively as a people are going to start having a conversation and people stop getting butthurt about having a conversation that needs to be had? It should have been had a long time ago, because if you don't have no solution to whatever the problem is, how do you expect to solve it? Because you can blindly disregard it, not look at it, pretend it's not there, but it's still going to be there. You know, Christopher Columbus in the state of California, the Christopher Columbus and Queen Isabella statue was torn down from the Capitol building because obviously they represented the massacre and the degradation of the Native American peoples, and that's a completely different story. And I feel for them because then 1492 was a turning point of a whole new different way of life over here in North America, and obviously people of color got the ass end of it. And you know, not just that, but just poor whites when they actually start coming over here too. So it's not just the people of color, but it's actually the people came over here looking for a greater experience than they were manipulating to pay for their passage, you know. But anyway, you know, but I really hope that we can have some type of discourse about a conversation, because this is not going anywhere. And you know, if you look at the protests are still going on. You know, a lot of people are protesting personally. Some people are just, they have your back. It's funny how you're creating all these allies now today, as opposed to before, when people said, well, I'll be with you there in spirit, but no, I need somebody to be there for me in action, because it's never what you say that ultimately matters. Your character, a person's character is really defined on not what you say, but that what you do, or with that what you commit yourself to. But you know, so I've been talking to a lot of people over the last few days, and everybody just most 9 out of 10 people that I've talked to feel the same way. There was one woman who said that, I'm tired. I don't mind them protesting, but they can't get on the freeway because it's going to interrupt. It's going to take me. You know, people in LA, they like to get to their destinations as fast as possible, especially when there's because it's typically traffic, and there's no traffic right now. So when the protesters get on the freeway, it just inconveniences them, because people in Los Angeles do not like to be inconvenienced for no reason, no matter what. But those people were representing something, and they were standing up for something. And you know, just like when they had the Open California protests around there, I didn't agree with them, but with opening California in the way that they thought was the right way to do it. I just love their passion, because they're willing to stand up for something that they believe in. And you know what? And today, that's a rare trait for a lot of people to have. But I think that because a lot of people don't have anything to do, and their character is defined on they want to stand up for something. And you know what? Rather you agree with it or disagree with it, you got to look at it and say, man, that's really nice, because you know what happens when the people actually agree with you, and now they have your back. Because a lot of times when people stand up to check power, you're going to look behind you and see absolutely nobody back there, because it's only you, because people are concerned about their livelihood. Am I going to get into trouble for this? Am I going to lose my job as a result of this, like a lot of those Karens and and Trevor's messing with these people? You know, so because everything is, you know, the revolution won't be televised, but it's going to be on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You know, but that's an interesting part of our lives today, because the news media may not capture it, but trust me, somebody with their smartphone definitely will. And that's why we're at where we're at now. It's because everything is being captured. So, you know, I listen to a lot of things on YouTube and then on Instagram and different media outlets about people's views on this. And you have a lot of people who are just like, you know what, the hell with this, the hell with this, the hell with that. I don't trust you, so and so's. You know, I don't believe none of that, or I don't got time for that until it affects you. You know, there's one woman on TikTok who she said, the hell with every BLM and everything they have to represent, because she lost her son, she lost her nephew, she lost her brother and her father as a result of black on black violence. But you know what? If it's black on black violence, Hispanic on Hispanic violence, white on white violence, None of it should exist, but yet the problem is with any oppressed community, we all have oppressed communities. What they do is they harm one another. That's just a fact of the nature. And like in Chicago, 104 people, 104 shootings. A 3 or 4 year old toddler died, and three teenagers. That's uncalled for. But the fact of the matter is that violence is violence, and violence is just part of human nature. But my real question is that a lot of people are focusing outside of their community. They're focused on these problems with the community. But you know what? If you're going to focus on something, or even try to bring it up, but you're using it to lambaste them as a part of trying, oh, how about this? Where's the solutions at? Because I don't think if you have no solutions, you're just focusing on the problem. Man, we got the media for that. We got these politicians for that because nobody has no effective solutions. So what do? You know, collectively, because I don't think, one person can't solve everything. But I think that if everybody united, there's that collective unity that can do the impossible. Because if you look at the course of history and society, man, the human spirit has done so much to make improvements in our lives. So what are you doing in your life to try to make some improvements? Or are you just sitting around on the side, always got something to say and making some comments? Because see, what I like to do, and what I've done over the last weekend, and I kind of miss it, was I picked up a lot of young guys, and I said, man, I made a host of mistakes in my life. So I tried to express to them some of the pitfalls and some of the things that I've learned. And I also picked up some subscribers. I get more subscribers from the people that I run into more than the people that I know in my personal life, which says a whole lot to me, but not about my character. And I can only be focused on my character because I'm trying to enlarge it as much as I can. But coming back to this racist pancakes, it's like, man, what are they going to do? They're going to change the name. They're going to breed market the product. The product was good. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've eaten them my whole life, and I don't have a problem with it. But I'm looking back. I was thinking about this last night. When I kind of look back and look at these images, or like Sambo's restaurant. And I went to Sambo's when I was a kid, and that was another racist, very large chain of restaurants. There's only one left, and that's in Santa Barbara. There were, at one point, I believe there was like 1,000 restaurants. And I think because of pressure, because of the name and what they represented, what they stood for, they were forced to close down most of their restaurants. But you know what? We live in a racist society. I'm 51 years old. I've been seeing it my whole life. I've been a victim of it. And maybe when I was younger, I may have done some things to somebody else, not intentionally, but that was just where I was at. We all make dumb mistakes. But it's about evolving, growing, and learning from your mistakes. Where today, man, everybody's my brother and my sister, and looking at the racist stuff, look what we do to one another. And in the black community, there's a skin tone. Dark is bad and light skinned is good. If you look at China has the same color complex. Look at the caste system that they have in India. The darkest Indians are the untouchables. And they were at one point, the only opportunity they can get was cleaning the sewers out. And when people seen them, they would get nervous and shocked that, oh my God, no, oh please, what is that over there? And they didn't want to see it, because they think that, oh, the lighter I am, the better I am. No, it doesn't. That doesn't. How you look has no impression on the character type of person that you are. There's that fakeness, that's that falseness. How much money you have doesn't change anything. It's not the external stuff that makes you a good person or makes you a reasonable person. It's an inside job. It's internal, intrinsic aspects. And I don't think as a species, as a human race, that we're ever going to get beyond that. But until we start taking some actions and going forward and actually talking about some of these things that affect us on a constant basis, only then will things start to get better. Just removing them is just one element of it. How about talking about it? How about educating these kids when they're in elementary, junior high school, and even some colleges about the true history of this country? Because for right now, it's all watered down. I mean, the truth is not, I guess it's a little figment of the truth. Or they'll talk about this, they'll talk about that. It's like they won't talk about the Tulsa riots. They won't talk about the Wilmington, North Carolina, when a white supremacist took a city, or when they did Black Wall Street in 1914, somewhere around there, when they burned down and they was killing people and they took all the property. And the 100-year anniversary just came up, and they just now recently had a court decision and gave some of the descendants their property back. This is some tragic, but it's our history. We can't go back and do nothing to change it, but we can look at it as a sea of how can we go forward if we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past, because we don't know the past. Most people don't know these things. Even though you got the power of Google, you can go find any information that you want to at the click of your hand. But are you getting misinformation, disinformation, bad information, or downright lies? But the truth is over there, but you're really going to have to dig for it. And people would just rather believe a lie than the truth, because you know what? The truth hurts. It does. I mean, for me, and when I had to focus on my truth, it really hurt. But, you know, change requires sacrifice. And if you've been inconvenienced, well, there's no change there. You've just been inconvenienced. But I like to think that true effective change comes at a steep price. But that price is so worth it. I think I'm going to have to make a part 2 to this, possibly even further than that. So if you got anything out of this, please like it so YouTube will move it up the ranks. And please subscribe if you haven't. And have a wonderful night. If nobody has told you this, Kelly loves you. Good night.